once again, this is a recording from my iPad, so sorry for the weird looking camera view for this 7 Chaos previews of the week, August 24th to 31st, 2015. We have 3 games coming out this week, so, and obviously with no computers to upload from, this is the only way I can really do it. I can upload from my iPad. The last one actually came out right, the channel update I did last week. So, with no computers, it's pretty much the only thing I can do. Like I said, the channel update last week came out pretty much alright, so it's a good alternative while I wait for the PC to be fixed. I will obviously be talking about the games released this week, and then I'll probably just go into a channel update from there. I do have a few things to reveal, and a few things to discuss on how the future is going to work, at least over the next couple of weeks or so. Because there's been a few changes in that regard, and I said I would update you if there was any. So, we'll get to that. Alright, so 2 massive exclusives, along with the yearly sport title this week. Gears of War 1, remastered, for the Xbox One. Until Dawn for the PlayStation 4, which completely took me by surprise. I didn't think that was coming out until maybe a week later. But apparently no, it is this week, so that's cool. And of course Madden 16 for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, and I'll be picking up the PlayStation 4 version. Alright, so I guess we should start with Gears of War 1, this remastered first. I'm fucking excited. Massive Gears of War fan. I think it's the first Gears game. Gears of War is back after maybe a 2-3 year hiatus. Of course, you already know that the last game from the Gears of War franchise was Gears of War Judgment. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I thought it was kind of pretty much rushed to market because, of course, the Xbox One and PS4 were on the way, and of course, it was the last Gears game before those consoles dropped. It was a bit rushed to market, and there was such high demand for a better than cold backstory, and I think, and they tried to go in a different direction with the game, and I think everything about Gears of War Judgment, all the decisions they made for it, pretty much held the game back in my opinion. So, I didn't particularly enjoy it or like it that much. It kind of felt like Gears for brief spells, but it was just way too different. And I don't think the Cole and Bear backstory wasn't necessarily needed, at least in the form it was come out on. Maybe it would have been better if Epic... Of course, Epic Games had the say in it, but I think People Can Fly had more of their kind of spin on it. I think every decision for Gears of War Judgment just held the game back, I think personally, and I gave it like a 4 point something in my 7 Chaos review back then, because I obviously did record Judgment as a playthrough with Lady Time Lord, or as she's known, Time Lady Games now. Thanks to WatchMojo.com for telling us what a female Time Lord is. That's going to be a bit weird to pronounce her like for a while. I'm going to get used to that. But we obviously did it with her and her cousin Samuel's Games. We did the game and the Aftermath campaign, and of course with my channel update in August last year. Obviously that playthrough was removed. And it's actually quite funny that I mentioned that, but I'll get into that in the channel update part of this video. So, Gears of War Remastered. I'm excited. that's an understatement. Like I said, Gears of War 1, from a lot of fans' point of view, was the best kind of campaign of the 3. I personally love the trilogy as a whole, but I can kind of understand why they're doing the first one in particular as a remaster. But of course, with the backwards compatibility now on the way later this year, the update for the Xbox One, I don't think 2 and 3 are going to get the same treatment, but that's fine, because apparently if you play Gears of War Remastered in some shape or form, I can't remember if it's online or just the game in general, I believe you get 3 codes to download the Xbox 360 versions of Gears of War 1 to Judgment. Gears of War 1 I was a bit puzzled by. I don't know why they were doing that really, but maybe it's for people that either haven't experienced the first game yet and want to experience it, or maybe to just get the achievements for Gears of War 1 again, like I have to do. I did Gears of War 1 on my Teenage Soldier account from years ago. Of course, I had to make a new one because I couldn't remember all the details from that one when I got my Xbox One last May, or May 2 years ago. I can't even remember that, it's been so long. So I had to make a new one. So obviously all my achievements were then gone. So it will be nice to go back there and play those games again, especially if they ain't getting remasters. And my teammates, actually, my longtime friends that I made from Gears of War 2's Horde mode once. I've been friends with them for so many years now, and I haven't played with them that much. Two of them have Xbox Ones, one of them doesn't, and one of them I don't know what he's doing. But apparently, when the Xbox One gets its backwards compatibility update, apparently there's going to be this thing where you can press the guide button and you get kind of the Xbox 360 mini dashboard, and you actually get to join up in parties with 360 players if you're on the Xbox One. So that would be pretty cool to do and get back in touch with those guys and start playing those games again, or at least Gears of War 3, depends what they want to do. But yeah, it will be nice to get actually back in contact with those because I have not talked to them in such a long time now. So that would be pretty cool. So yes, I will be doing playthroughs of Gears of War 2 and 3 in the future, and maybe Judgment as well, why not? Even though I don't particularly like it, I might as well, to suit ourselves up for Gears of War 4 next year. So that is that. So, back to the game. Gears of War Remastered is looking absolutely freaking amazing right now. I've seen a couple of cutscenes. It doesn't really matter if I watch the playthrough from someone else or not. I know the Americans get it tomorrow. We could watch it, we could not. It doesn't really matter to me because I already know. I have already played the game 1,000 times, so I know what happens. This isn't just your 1080p 60 frames per second upscale though. This is a complete remaster of the game, of the first campaign. This is completely redone from the ground up from the Coalition. This game is pretty much going to set the example, I believe, for how remasters should be done. Now, I know The Last of Us was called The Last of Us Remastered, but you know, that game was gorgeous to begin with, and the only real thing that they did, and a lot of people would say, is upscale it to 60 frames per second because you could already play the game in 1080p but not 60 frames per second due to the capabilities of only doing 30 frames per second on the PlayStation 3. What they've done here is completely redone the game. The cutscenes are different, the characters are different. They're not so different as completely redesigned, but if you're a Gears fan as much as myself and Lady Talmud and her cousin are, for example, you would know. You notice the differences in the characters in this game. Anya has probably gone through the most change. Oh my god. Anya, freaking hell, what did they do to you? She looks so different. It's incredible how different she looks. You realize you'll get to see it in the playthrough when it starts to go up. It'll probably be the first video or two. Because it's the first chapter is kind of shortish, obviously. But yeah, this is a total redo of the first game. This isn't just your 1080p 60 frames per second upscale. So the Coalition, obviously, when they were Black Tusk, they probably started this from right the second the Xbox One was announced. They probably started work on this game. And of course, they probably won't be able to give 2 and 3 the same treatment because it's not their game. It's Epic Games' game, obviously. So they probably have to require permission. And of course, they're working on the new Gears trilogy. So, well, I believe it's going to be a trilogy. It may not be, who knows, but obviously they're doing Gears of War 4 planned for next year, so I don't know if we'll see a Gears of War 2 and 3 remastered the same way as this one is. I hope so. I think the games deserve it, but if not, we've got the Xbox 360 versions. I love the games. I've got to get the achievements, so I'm happy either way, quite honestly. Now I've really thought about it. You know, I'm happy that I even get to play the games again because I love the series. So, I'm looking forward to this. You know, and the trailer they released with the Mad World song was just the kind of icing on the cake. It was like, yeah, I'm fucking excited. So that's great. And you also get to play the older Gears on the 360 through free codes, I believe. Could be wrong, but either way, you get to play the games, and that's awesome. So, can't wait for this game. Comes out Friday, I believe, but unfortunately there is a couple of things I need to mention later in the video. The same with the other 2 games, of course. So, Until Dawn, the PlayStation 4 exclusive. Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm excited for this one too. You know, it's kind of a choice-based Resident Evil. Is probably what I would call Until Dawn. And when I say Resident Evil, I mean Resident Evil 1 to 3. I don't mean excuse me, I don't mean the Resident Evil 4 to 6, which get criticized to shit unfairly in my opinion. I'm talking about real survival horror with choice-based gameplay from the likes of Telltale or Don't Nod Entertainment, who made Life is Strange. That's pretty much what Until Dawn is. It's basically Resident Evil with the survival horror aspect, with the choices you make that kind of tell you the story of the game, and the choices you make in the game are dependent on how many people get out. So basically, I think it's a story about 8 students or something that go to this place, and it's haunted or some bollocks. I don't know, but it's not haunted. But it's kind of I think they're on some sort of holiday or field trip. It's something like that film. Something about knowing what you did last summer or whatever that film was called. And this seems to be what it reminds me of. I've never seen the movie, but I've heard about it, and I think that's probably what Until Dawn is similar to. The 8 students that go away and on some field trip or something, and they end up in this house, and it's got spooky shit. And basically, you play through the game, and the choices you make actually determine how many of those students actually get out. It's probably going to be a scary ass game. But I'm definitely going to do a playthrough of it. I think it warrants it. It shouldn't be that long, I wouldn't have thought. And even if it was, I actually want to do this game because, apart from maybe a couple this year, PlayStation exclusives are generally probably the best exclusives of all the consoles. Nintendo's really stepped up in the exclusive market recently. Microsoft really hasn't had a lot, only Killer Instinct was of any note. And neither Sony, to be honest. The audio, as you know, was a bit of a meh. Infamous was okay. I actually enjoyed Infamous, but Until Dawn is probably going to be the first real exclusive of the PlayStation 4 that people want to buy the console for. That's what it looks like anyway. So I can't wait to do that shit. I've already loved the choice-based aspect of the games from playing games like Telltale's and Life is Strange. So I think that's just kind of the topping on what it seems to be a great game at the moment. Let's hope that it doesn't kind of fall into the Order category where it kind of ends up being a massive PlayStation exclusive that kind of falls flat, sadly. But it doesn't look like that, so it looks like Until Dawn is going to be the first real big killer exclusive that actually does well. So let's fingers crossed for that. Madden 16, is there really anything to say? It's a yearly sport title. There's nothing to really say about that at all. I'll be playing it. Will I be recording it? Probably not. I don't know. It depends. I'm not really big on Madden, to be honest. I'm more into basketball when it comes to American sport. In any case, I'm more into the NBA. So I don't think I'll be doing much with Madden. But it's nice to have something to play when Until Dawn and Gears are finished. So that's what it's there for, or some downtime maybe. But it's not something I'm really looking to pick up and record anytime soon, because I was going to do it for Madden 15, but like I said, I'm not really big on Madden. I don't really have a team that I support down there, and I don't really know the sport that well either. I know kind of the basic rules, but that's about it. That is pretty much it. So Gears of War and Until Dawn, all these games I'm really looking forward to, but Gears of War and Until Dawn are probably the 2 biggest games so far, of the year so far, Alright, so that's pretty much it. Unfortunately though, this is where we go into the channel update, and I kind of have a little bit of bad news, not really anything major. But, playthroughs will not be starting on Friday. The person who made the PC will be only coming around next week now, about Tuesday I think. Basically, he's got to go into his work and whatever, he's got to cover some shifts. So I won't be able to come over at the end of this week. It's a bummer, but what can you do? And Lady Tomwood's laptop is, she's going to be giving up on the ghost on that. I think what she's going to do is buy a hard drive a bit later this week and see if she can get it in and get it working. If she can, then great, I guess. I could still do the playthroughs with the PC as it is now. I can still do it. But I'd rather wait until Lady Tomwood's got something so we can both do it, because that would just be cool. Because it's something we both want to do. Lady Tomwood actually wants to put this playthrough up on her end of things. As you know, Lady Tomwood doesn't really do a lot of videos. He really focuses on co-op playthroughs, and this is one we've both been looking forward to doing for so long, both of us. So I think it would be pretty cool to have us both do it at the same time, like first run through the game. I mean, yes, we could play the game once and then do it again later, but that would turn things into a walkthrough, I guess, and we're not really walkthrough specialists. We're more just playing the games as they are, cold, and getting whatever we pick up at the time. We're not planning to walk through 100% mastery of the game. That's just not what we do. In some cases, I can't do it anyway. So yeah, we prefer just to play through stuff rather than do 100% walkthroughs and tell you where all the tags are and all that stuff. I presume all the car tags are going to be in the same places as the first game, but I don't know yet. But I think they are there. There's actually some new achievements actually in the game as well. There's some brand new ones that weren't in the original. So yeah, it is kind of a bummer. The PC's not going to be able to get not fixed, but the person that made it's got like brand new parts to put in it. And that won't be happening until next week. The playthroughs may start on Friday, it may not. It depends the kind of status of Lady Tomwood's laptop, and see if we can get that working before it comes out. If not, then it'll probably just start next week in regards anyway. It just kind of depends if we can hold out that long until the person that made the PC gets here. But we should be fine. I mean, we could just jump on the campaign. Lady Tomwood could probably just play Until Dawn like on her own. We could both experience it, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But probably not, because I need to do it for my playthrough, obviously. But, yeah, it's kind of a block in the road a little bit. But I would say by next week, myself and Lady Tomwood are going to be 100% raring to go in terms of what we want to do with our YouTubes over, like, from when we'll be ready to do it, basically. And the PCs will be done, and the laptop will be fixed, and whatever. You know what I mean? I was never going to actually stop doing it, it's just I can't really do much with it right now. And I'll actually talk about that in a second. But yeah, you probably won't see anything. Well, I can't do anything from next week anyway, because I can't upload, because the internet doesn't work. So, I mean, I think the guy is actually sending us a thing that kind of gets the internet working, I think. But I haven't received that yet. But it's only Monday, so you may see the playthroughs on Friday. You may not. I think we're going to probably start with Gears first, because that's the one we're looking forward to, and then Until Dawn will follow that. I'll probably alternate the two if I can, but it kind of depends on what we do with Gears. We might finish it in one sitting. We might finish it in two sittings. I mean, we played Gears so much. It should be pretty much a breeze to get through this game. So, it's not going to be a mastery playthrough by any means, no, but, we're probably not going to die as much, because we actually have played Gears to death, and we know it from top to bottom, and Remastered pretty much plays the same as the original. It's really just the cutscenes that are the most different. I'm waffling again, but I'm sorry about that. So yeah, we won't be able to see anything in terms of uploading to YouTube by next week anyway, regardless of whether we get to record it or not. So it just depends on timing. Pretty much. So speaking of that, I'm actually going to reveal a couple of things quickly that I have. It's really funny, because last year, around this time, probably a couple of weeks before, I'd actually updated 2 direct capture footage as a whole with the Elgato Game Capture HD. So it's pretty funny how I'll be talking about this right now. Basically through, I think my own, the person that made the laptop's research, and pretty much something I figured out on my own. I've been recording in 60 frames per second with the Elgato Game Capture HD, when the Elgato Game Capture HD itself can only handle 30 frames. Now, I think, as you know, the Elgato Game Capture software has a new interface, which allows you to for the Game Capture HD60. Basically, that's what that interface is for. So I got one. The guy that made the PC actually recommended that I get this if I want to do 60 frames per second. It's not something I was fussed about, But I thought, why not? You know, if this is causing the problem, which it could be me just playing with the older, recording with the older model on the newer software interface. It could be that, it could be something else, I don't know. It just is a bit weird how I don't think anyone has ever experienced this problem as far as I know, I'm not sure. But I picked one up. Why not? You know, if that is the problem, then they've made a good move. If I still get the problem, I know how to counter it anyway. So it's not really a big loss for me. So I thought I'd just get one anyway. You know, screw it. And that's not all. I actually got this thing, which is the most huge box ever. I actually got a new microphone too. Why not? This is actually the Blue Yeti. This is what the majority of YouTubers use. The Blue Snowball is kind of the other one. I thought, why not? You know, if I'm getting like the most updated equipment in terms of capture, I might as well get the best looking microphone as well. I don't really know how this works yet. I haven't unboxed them. I don't really need to because I can't do anything with them anyway. So that means that later on we actually got my older stuff. I did stress test it. You know, I wasn't going to give it to her if it was broken. I did just stress test it the other day, and it seems to work out fine on 30 frames per second. I think what we'll have to do with Lady Tomlos, is she's using a laptop, is probably lower the quality just a little bit and downgrade her to 30 frames per second, obviously, just to make sure it doesn't happen to her what happened to both of us, basically. We both had the same problem, so I think that kind of says to me that doing 60 frames on the older model was never a good idea. But I didn't know that. Like I said, this Elgato stuff was a new kind of thing for me, so I was always going to take a year or so to figure it all out. But hopefully we have now, and we kind of have figured it out, and we know how to counter anything. So later onwards, Gears of War playthrough will probably be in 30 frames, but it's not something we're overly concerned about. You know, we're not overly concerned about graphics. We play games because we love to, not because of how graphically the game looks or whatever. I would say this. I notice more of a difference between 30 and 60 frames per second than I do with 720 1080p. I notice the difference in the frames per second rather than the upgraded to 1080p or whatever. Yes, I know this Elgato does record in 1080p 60 frames per second, but the file sizes are gigantic when you do that, and it would take me a year to freaking upload. My internet speed isn't the best. I think it's like 3.8 upload or some shit. I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, we'll both be doing 720p. We don't need to do 1080p. It's not something we have to do. You know what I mean? You know, we're only doing it for fun. We're not doing it as a profession. So we don't need to be all professional and get the best equipment and a green screen and all this stuff that all these other YouTubers do, because we're not as good as them for a start. And we're not making any money off the videos. We're actually doing it for fun and enjoyment, because we're probably the only two, apart from a couple of others that we know, that do it at the moment. Because like I said, I think gaming has turned like rather serious. You know, people want to, you know, they make the money and they get these fancy setups with dual monitors and stuff, and it's just like, my house is not capable of all this stuff. Like I'm not criticizing those setups at all. It's just my house isn't capable of housing such immaculate setups like dual monitors and stuff. It's like, how do people even? I'm in awe sometimes of how people do this stuff. It is incredible how people do these with dual monitors and you know, wheels for Formula 1 and stuff like that. Which actually leads me to something else I want to talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I have an equipment upgrade. I thought, why not? You know, if the capture is the reason why I was encountering problems and Lady Tomlo was encountering problems, and now we know if that is the reason, then that is the case, then score. You know, we're absolutely like geniuses over here. But no, I'm kidding. But if not, like I said, we know ways of countering it if it was to ever go kaput again. We wouldn't even need to buy a new one, because like I said, what I was doing with Life is Strange with episode 4 is I turned the screen off, and it seemed to come out fine. So if we were having slowdown and things like that in the recording, I actually remember getting the slowdown issue at Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. I actually remember getting that with part 6 of the playthrough. I actually had to record it twice because once the Elgato went delayed and all that stuff. So, and I think that might have been during my time with the new software, new interface. I can't remember, but yes, I would believe so. So, you know, I think the upgrade is kind of warranted anyway because of course this is the newest model, so that would make sense. I would have got the newer model at the time, but when I got my Elgato Game Capture HD, it was about maybe a month later and the HD60 came out. And I didn't really think I'd need it, but now it's kind of the time to upgrade to it. So that is pretty much it. I guess the last thing I should really talk about is a couple of things I've done recently. I want to actually give my opinion on a couple of events that have occurred over the past week. One of them is the Street Fighter V beta, which well, not the beta personally, not the full beta. They've stress tested the servers. Street Fighter V is looking great, but I think one thing I have to say is that I think using a fight stick has beaten me to the punch. I don't think I'll be using it again. Basically, my CP kind of hinders, my cerebral palsy, it kind of hinders me using it. I think number one is I'm more used to a controller, and number two, I just cannot do motions with my left hand on a fight stick. I just find it incredibly difficult. I think, you know, I can give an example. I haven't recorded anything, but I can give an example of, I think I had about 5 straight losses with the fight stick. So what I did was I moved straight back to the controller and I actually won the following match. So I do think it's me using fight sticks just isn't like liable. You know, it's not good for me because I can't do anything with it. So I have a free fight stick if anyone wants one, I guess, but I don't know how that goes. I might give it away if I know if someone can tell me how to do it. I might not. Okay, I don't know, but I don't think I'll be using it again. So either I'll sell it somewhere, or if someone wants one, I can do something if I know how to post. And the other one was the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 beta. Oh my god. You know, it made me consider buying the game. I think I am going to buy Black Ops 3, but I don't think I'm going to buy it for the reasons you don't expect. The multiplayer, it was like, I think it was Thursday, when myself and Nathan we just jumped on the beta just for some casual stuff, and I just ended up getting so frustrated. The Black Ops 3 reminds me of Ghost's multiplayer. It was also just weird. The spawns are terrible again. You know, the spawns are absolutely horrible. There's this map that is absolutely the worst map ever, and the kill streaks dominate the maps again. And it's like, have we not got past this yet? You know what I mean? I thought we were past this where kill streaks weren't dominating the maps, but sure enough, there's this map that kill streaks just dominate, and everyone just brings in loads of fucking airstrikes and shit. And it was like so frustrating. And then there was this match just before I finished playing it that kind of made me say fuck it, I don't want to play this again. And it was the fact that I had like 2 or 3 dudes that I was putting continuous bullets in their faces and they weren't falling. It was like Lenny Tomwell just shot some guy with 2 bullets, and then I shot him with a further 3 bullets, and he still managed to kill the both of us. So the multiplayer really does remind me of Ghost and how bad that multiplayer was. And it, you know, I almost said I was not going to buy the game, but I think I will do, because it is Black Ops 3, so it is part of a trilogy, and the campaign does need playing, I guess, because I played the other 2 campaigns. It wouldn't make much sense, but I don't think I'm going to do, unless, I don't know, because here's my thing. Why are they beta testing this? I have no fucking clue. Because to me, it looks like an exact carbon copy of every other Call of Duty game. Now, unless they're testing new game servers or something like that, if I could be wrong, maybe they are testing something, but to me it just looks like an atypical Call of Duty game that doesn't need beta testing. That doesn't need beta testing. It's an atypical Call of Duty game with the same amount of nonsense that's in all the others. Why the hell are we beta testing this? What the fuck? Why the hell are we beta testing something that has been out for years? You know, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm always going to buy the game, you know, for the campaign anyway, and I'm probably going to set a multiplayer in. But you know, that just did not look good to me. But obviously, you know, I guess it is a beta. They will obviously change a few things, and maybe it'll look different when the full release comes out in November. But right now, I just got so frustrated and thought, fuck it. You know, I got to level 10, I was like, fuck it, I'm not playing this again. So I might get some Xbox One codes, I might not. If I do, I'll just give one to my brother and two to someone else who wants them, but I won't be using them because I don't like the game so far. I don't like the multiplayer that much. Alright, that's pretty much it. This has been a long video. I do apologize. 30 minutes. This could take a while to go onto YouTube, but it should work. Alright, so that's me out of here. That's all bases covered, I believe. And that's it for this week's preview. So I'll see you back when I am able to record and upload again, which will be probably next week, if not soon. We'll let you know. Peace out, everybody. See you later.